Infinity Ward's Pat Kelly and someone else did an interview with Venture Beat, I believe is the name. So Infinity Ward stated that they're proud of how the game looks on last-gen consoles while also pushing the tech for current-gen and PC. That actually probably just about confirms, well, we're proud of how it looks on old-gen. You're still not getting an FOV slider, though, and then only new-gen
I agree.
They did mention they still want everyone playing together. Last game's debate was K-BAM versus controller, but now it's last-gen versus current. It's not. It's still K-BAM versus controller,
it's still
Charlie.
Both of those things, yeah.
Have you ever played Warzone, Kashav? It's definitely... No one argues last-gen versus current, buddy.
Yeah, that's not even an argument, actually. Obviously, current gen's better.
About.
So, yeah, that's not the debate. So, cool.
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
You dumb bitch,
Thanks,
Kashav.
Thanks for the news, Kashav, but that was stupid.
Yeah.
So, question. This is from the article. This is what they asked Pat Kelly, who is the studio, I believe the studio director at iDub. He's one of the head guys. I think he's...
I'll look into it.
I think he's under Joe Seacox, I believe.
Joe Apricots.
Yeah. He's under Joe's cock. Okay, so in terms of multiplayer, are the next generation consoles and PC going to have an advantage based on resolution and draw distance? Here's what Pat Kelly says, and I'm very excited to read the last part of this. I wouldn't say there's going to be an advantage. I'd say there are going to be some graphical. There's going to be a fidelity change that is inherent to the machine. But we go to great lengths to make that fairness, player to player, exist across the generations of machines. The last thing we want to see is a scenario. Let me back up, okay? When we did the last game, one of our biggest concerns at the time was players on mouse and keyboard versus players using controllers. Finding the balance on that. It's an interesting thing, really, because I wish it was a linear spectrum. You can see that very highly skilled players on mouse and keyboard is fantastic compared to a controller player. Everyone else on mouse and keyboard seems to be at a disadvantage statistically, is what we see.
Statistically, from a guy who has all of the stats, by the way.
So shut the fuck up. Yes. All of you complaining, no, controller's not better up close, blah, blah, you're just dog shit. No. They literally have stats to prove that. That's what we keep saying. Does K-BAM have a bunch of things that are better at range? Of course. Controller has a clear advantage, and that's close range gunfights, and that's what a lot of fights in Warzone are. Most fights in Warzone where someone ends up getting downed and getting full killed is close range. Statistically, controller is a lot better than K-BAM. So you have to be fucking amazing on K-BAM to compete, is what he's trying to say. Statistically. And that is the studio director at Infinity Ward,
who has the stats.
And before someone molds, if this becomes a TikTok, if you play on a console with 60 field of view and you have a 0.3 KD, believe me, buddy, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about someone who is amazing at the game, Biffle, Aiden, trying to compete with someone, well, not even them, just the average controller player up close is impossible. I would argue probably the average controller player, they probably have the stats to back this up, with a 0.7 KD, wins more gunfights within 10 meters than a 2.0 K-BAM player. I would argue the 0.7 controller player wins the vast majority of those fights. Believe me, I'm above a 2.0 on K-BAM, and I don't win any gunfights up close.
Yeah.
So there we go. Confirmed by Infinity Ward. It's over. The argument's over. They just confirmed aim assist statistically is stronger than keyboard and mouse.
Yes, exactly. So again, this is a guy, Pat Kelly. He's a studio head. He has all of the data. Okay. You can see that a very highly skilled player on mouse and keyboard is fantastic compared to controller. Everybody else on a mouse and keyboard, i.e., not highly skilled mouse and keyboard players, but average mouse and keyboard or lower, seems to be at a disadvantage statistically, is what we see. Okay.
They have the data.
So he has the statistics. So this all makes sense. By the way, let me add, who literally said this 2 years ago? This fucking guy. I told you, if you're insane on keyboard and mouse, you're going to be better than... You would rather be on keyboard and mouse than you would be on controller if you're really good at keyboard and mouse. But if you're middling or below that on keyboard and mouse and on controller, you would prefer to be on controller. I said this 2 years ago. This was contentious. It still is contentious, and it's going to continue to be contentious, by the way, even though we literally have the stats on it now. It's going to continue to be some kind of argument somehow, even though the data is out.
Of course, yeah.
The data is out.
Wrong, yeah.
The data is out. If it is two average players competing against each other, everybody on keyboard and mouse seems to be at a disadvantage statistically, is what we see. Okay. So finally, this debate is done. I'm done debating it. I'm going to point you to the guy who is a studio head at Activision telling you that the statistics line up with what I've been saying for 2 years. Now, so first of all, I'm vindicated and it feels good. Secondly, again, this isn't to say that keyboard and mouse doesn't have advantages, as Tanner pointed out. I'd rather, if I was average on keyboard and mouse, which I am, and average on controller, then I'm not. I'm like 97th percentile. For those of you listening, I have some credibility. If I was average on keyboard and mouse and average on controller, and I was taking a gunfight at 50 meters, I would rather be on keyboard and mouse. I think that advantage is still probably the case. But as Tanner said, a lot of gunfights are very close, especially in multiplayer, obviously. But even in Warzone, that's true too. And so the most interesting thing is that I've been right this whole time. The second most interesting thing, of course, is that Pat Kelly talking about this implies that something is going to happen for MW2 and Warzone 2 to help this situation. Because I don't understand why he would bring this up if there was no reason to. Like,
Exactly.
why would you bring this up and then be like, with that said, controllers and aim assist are going to behave exactly the same in the next game as they have been. That would be a weird thing to do. It would be weird. So then the real interesting thing is, what does this mean for aim assist for MW2? What does it mean for aim assist in Warzone 2? And what ought they do? What they're going to do is one question. What they should do is another question. Now, based on the statistics, as we've learned, and having played against people on controller, and having spoken to good players who play on controller, everyone in these camps agrees aim assist needs to be toned down up close in Call of Duty. Jax, really good controller player, says this. L, good controller player, says this. Lag Show, good controller player, says this. Jake, good controller player, says this. I could keep running down people I know.
Warzone pros say it too. Half the Warzone pros in the top 20 say it.
People have switched from keyboard and mouse to controller to play on Warzone. Shaded Step, I think, is one of them. This is obvious. Yeah, OP is another one. So again, the question is, do you think, Tanner, that they are going to change how aim assist functions for MW2 and Warzone 2 based on the fact that they've said this? And also, how do you think they'll change it? And how do you think they should change it to make it fair? Because let's be clear, and I will reiterate again, if controller was not allowed to have any aim assist, it would be by far the worst input method, and keyboard and mouse would be undeniably better.
Of course.
And that is obvious to those of us with brains, but some of you listening might be thinking that we want aim assist gone. We don't. Controller needs aim assist. There should be aim assist. I want aim assist in the next game. I just want it to function differently than it does now to allow me an opportunity to compete. So, yeah, Tanner, what are your thoughts? How do you think do you think they'll change it, first of all?
I don't know what they could change, because if they make it a little bit worse up close, I feel like it's a fine line of it being overpowered and then it being just dog shit, and then K-Ban winning all the gunfights up close. I can understand how that is the most difficult thing to balance, is controller with aim assist versus it's nearly impossible to do, which is why up until like 3 years ago, there was never cross input for like any game. It just didn't exist.
Correct.
I don't know what they can do. I would say I'm fine with it at all distances under like 10 meters. I think at 10 meters it needs to seriously change. And the fact that it behaves, if I'm sprinting past them or sliding past them and then I jump, the fact that it like stays tracking like on my upper chest is also unfair. They like never even hit leg multipliers when I jump over them. What's the point in me even trying to perform some movement action on them to try to break their aim assist when it's just not possible and just sticks to center chest? That's not fair either, because I can't do that. And there's just so many basic kill cams that I watch that I'm like, dude, this average kid tracks me perfectly there. I've been playing keyboard and mouse since 2008 and I can't track that perfectly and hit every shot. It's insane.
No,
and so no.
Yeah.
And it absolutely comes down to needing to change within like 10 meters. It's just broken. You get more aim assist the more the person moves too. So you're better off just coming to a dead stop actually, and then their aim assist isn't going to work as well. It's like, what's the benefit of me even moving at that point? I may as well just stop moving when I come up against a controller player on Rebirth and just stand there and shoot at them because their aim assist won't be as strong. It's
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know how you balance it, and I don't see what they'll do. If they make it a lot worse, controller players are going to maul and then say they're getting farmed when statistically they'll probably still be better.
So based on what I don't know either. I have some ideas though, but based on what so I've played a little bit of controller lately on Call of Duty. I don't have enough experience playing on controller in Warzone or in MW 2019 or whatever to be the guy to prescribe how aim assist should change. However, based on what I've heard from a lot of people, the real culprit about what makes aim assist too overpowered is something called rotational aim assist, which is exactly what Tanner was talking about, where if you move, if your opponent's moving and you're also moving, you get something called rotational aim assist, which is like pixel perfect tracking when two parties are moving together. That is the most overpowered part of aim assist, and I think that is what needs to be focused on and tuned down a lot to make aim assist balanced. So Jake in chat said, who's played a lot on keyboard and mouse and on controller in Warzone, the fact that the point of aim literally moves by itself with no input is insane. I think that is where true, and I think that's where you start. So if you want to have rotational aim assist, that is fine, but it should require your input. And if you can literally not touch your stick and you still track perfectly, there's something very wrong there, obviously. It should require your input to stay on track. And if I am on a controller and I'm not moving and someone runs past my reticle and my reticle moves, that's a problem. Your reticle shouldn't move unless you move it yourself. And then once you're aiming, then some aim assist kicks in. But your reticle should never ever move with aim assist if you don't move it yourself. I think that's a great starting point. It should not be the case that I run across your screen while you're AFK and your guy aims his gun a solid inch across your monitor, even though no one's even fucking there touching a stick. This is absurd. So I think what needs to be addressed is rotational aim assist. I don't know exactly how, but that is what needs to be the focus, in my view, to bring these things in line. But it is a difficult problem, and I'm not the guy. But I am very heartened by the fact that Pat Kelly, number one, has finally settled this fucking debate. I'm done arguing about it now. I'll just say, well, if you think aim assist isn't overpowered, the stats and the studio head at Activision disagrees with you based on the stats that he has. So you're just wrong. This debate's over now. Now it's a statement of fact. And this is something we've all known for 2 years, and I've been telling you for 2 years. Yeah. And many people have known. Us. People that are honest know. And if you're really good, you can exploit how strong aim assist is to your advantage. But I'm very heartened by the fact that they're talking about it. And that means maybe something will be done so that it's less of an insane advantage. Yeah. That would be good. And the fact that they're talking about it implies something will be different with aim assist next year. which is going to be really nice.
Yeah. A few things here. Number one, there's going to be someone that's going to listen to this and say, no, controller's still harder. You guys are just wrong. Again, it comes down to this. Literally 1 out of the top 20 overall earners in Warzone of all time are on KBAM. Literally 1. And that's Huskers. There's no one else in the top 20 that plays on KBAM. And something else. These guys like Aiden, Mutex, I've watched a lot of these guys play on KBAM. They're fucking cracked on KBAM too. They know, and a lot of them admit, Mutex especially says it all the time. He's like, holy shit, aim assist is busted. They purposely, obviously, play on controller because they know it's a lot better for them. And I know someone's also going to say, well, why don't you guys switch to controller? So I shouldn't have to. Again, I've been playing on KBAM for 14 years. I don't want to switch. That's what I've always played shooters on. Always. It's dumb that I should ever have to switch or feel the need to switch because I'm getting farmed when all the engagements are up close, and that's all everything is. And also, obviously, top controller players are insane. We're not taking anything away from them. What Biffle, Aiden, Tommy, Super Evan, all those guys do, I can never be as good as them on any input method, no matter what. You can't give me a controller. I'm not saying I can be as good as them. They're fucking cracked out of their minds. They're also insane on KBAM. They're just good gamers. They stick to controller because they know it's that much better at Warzone. That's another point. That's me saying the good players know it's better. It's always the below average player saying, no, it's not as good. It's because you're not good at video games. Sorry, hate to break it to you. You're not good. That's why. Comments. You're just not good at the game. Yes, they are, and they understand it. People that are better understand. Same thing with people that are low KD, always saying, I hear people fine. No, you don't. You're just not good at the game, and you can't comprehend that you're not hearing footsteps and dying in the ways that you are because you're bad at the game. Sorry, you're bad at the video game. It's not the end of the world. It's a video game. You're just bad, admit it. My biggest thing with it is no reaction needed when someone runs around a corner. There's not a time that I mauled more than I've come flying around a corner. There's someone pre-aimed at the door, and it tracks me perfectly as I fly through. You do not understand. There is a 0 millisecond reaction time needed for that. Your aim assist starts tracking that. What do I have to do on KBAM when a game has no audio? If someone busts through a door with Deady popped, or just, not even Deady. Rebirth doesn't have audio, as we learned yesterday. Someone busts through a door. By the time I get audio and can react, even if I'm pre-aimed, I'm at like half health because they're going to roll through there and start shooting at me, and I'm dead. Controller, you pre-aim at the door. You come around the corner, 0 milliseconds reaction time needed. You're already tracking. All you have to do is press down on the trigger, and you start doing damage to that person.
Yep.
There's a clip of Super Evan doing this in a tournament against pro players. Again, not taking anything away. The guy's insane. He gets like a 1v3 against these guys. They fucking blow through the door, slide about 12 feet into the room. He does not miss a fucking shot. And yes, he's a skilled player. 0 reaction time needed. They come busting through. It's tracking them the entire way. He doesn't miss a shot. He moves. The next guy comes through. That guy jumps. His aim goes from at that guy's ball sack to sticking on his upper chest and tracking him as that guy jumps through the air. It's an insane clip. I couldn't do it on any input, but I'm just saying, you have to understand, if you don't play on KBAM, that's what you don't get, is there is 0 reaction time needed to do that. The best KBAM player in the world cannot react that fast. It is statistically impossible. There is no reaction needed for your aim assist to start taking place. And that's the number one issue, in my opinion, is how you can just fly around a corner and someone's already tracking you before they can even comprehend and realize that someone's on their screen. Their aim has already been tracking you the entire time, and that's broken and absurd and should not be in the game.
Yes.
How do you balance it? Pretty simple. Tone down. Like, I think what Jake is saying is a fantastic start, yeah, because that would at least require you to be able to react versus someone coming through a door and the aim is just sticking no matter what. You should be required to start turning your stick to the left and react to that person at least before that starts taking into play. Because you should have to react to someone before your aim's already on there. I mean, that's insane to comprehend. Like, a lot of these clips literally look like aimbot to me, and controller players think that's a normal clip. I'm like, dude, that looks like KBAM aimbot, and you don't understand that because you can't comprehend that, but that looks like what aim lock looks like when you're cheating. It's insane.
Yeah.
So anyways, stay mad. Someone's going to be mad at this no matter what. Statistically, it's better. They just confirmed it. Obviously, not at all distances. Again, KBAM has a lot of things that are better than being on a controller, but almost all fights and deaths come down to close range on Warzone and in multiplayer, and controller is statistically a lot better.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think the big thing is like your reticle should not move unless you're moving it yourself. Like exactly. You should have aim assist, but
you need to start the aim.
A door, yes, exactly, yeah. My reticle should never move without me moving it myself first. I have to be the first mover. If you just started there, that would be a great way to balance aim assist. It would be a great way.
Yeah. Yep. And
that's literally all they did. In fact, I would be like really happy with
that's what pisses me off most, is not having a reaction time. You literally don't have to have a reaction time. If you know to pre-aim a door, there's no reaction needed. That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Literally.
And it negates movement. Movement doesn't matter. Me sliding through or dolphin diving through or jumping through doesn't matter. And
again, we've said this a lot in the program, but all of the best controller players in the world want aim assist to be nerfed. A lot of them have made that clear. I already brought up Mutex. He's a big one. He always says like, holy shit, aim assist is so busted. And he like will tell you like, it's so good that it lowers the skill gap drastically of good controller players.
Between two controller players, exactly. So Mutex, who can aim super well with his stick, and dipshit McGee fuck, who can't aim at all, they get equal efficiency in a lot of these gunfights with respect to aim because the aim assist is so strong. But if you make aim assist less strong, that creates a wider skill gap between two controller players, depending on which controller player can aim better than another controller player. So this would be good for controller players as well, because it would implement an actual skill gap between controller players. And most of the people you're fighting, whether you're on controller or not, are also people on controller.
Yeah.
So you should want this.
Exactly. And I've learned from TikTok, there are some very bad players out there. Gat Granny, shout out to Gat Granny. I mean, she's not a good player, but it's like, she's like 70 years old. That's fine. I'm just pointing out she knows she's not a good player. It's like, people like that,
you should never lose to.
Well, she plays on KBAM anyways, which is also why she can't hit anything, of course. But she's a bad example. But if she was on controller and the aim assist wasn't as strong, it really wouldn't matter, since skill-based matchmaking is a thing. She's only playing against people that also have a 0.4 KD, and then there's, people VPNing, of course, that are just destroying her, but VPNs don't work. And so she's playing against people that are also dog shit. So if aim assist was just worse for all of them, it would balance out anyways, because they're playing against themselves. They're in a protected lobby.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, that's we just had to bring that up. So
thanks, Jake, for sending that
actually
to us,
matters.
by the way.
Say again?
I said thanks, Jake, for sending that to us. I wouldn't have seen that.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have seen this either. So good for you, Jake. Thanks. The most important point from this, other than of course I was right and I told you so, is that it implies there's going to be something different with aim assist next year. At least that is what would make the most sense, because why else would you bring this up? So we will definitely report back. We'll have a poll for our controller users in the community and see, is aim assist any different in MW2 and Warzone 2? And we'll let you guys know.